So this is the idea. It's this little suction cup thing that can wrap around an object, and then you vacuum out the air and you can grab and release things. And so what I'm going to be doing is building this little robot. It's pretty good. I just made it of some scrap wood that I had, and then those motors are just 360-degree servos, and like I said, it's just kind of hodgepodge together, but the idea is to make a robot arm that uses that gripper, because I haven't seen too many actual robots. I've seen a lot of people make that gripper. It's made out of coffee grounds and a balloon, and then you have a vacuum pump. And right now what I'm doing is I'm adding the Arduino, the brains of the project, and I actually tried using a motor shield so that I could get easier access to the pins without needing a breadboard. And that right there is the motor driver, and that's going to allow the Arduino to control the DC motor for the vacuum pump. Just doing some wiring right now. Now I'm attaching the servos to that motor driver board. It makes it a lot easier because instead of having to add a breadboard and then wire everything up and have this huge wire mess, I can just plug it right in. It saves a lot of time. I think I'll do that more in future projects. Here I'm adding the battery, and I didn't put a switch on it. I probably should have. I just kind of pulled the battery out and I click it back in when I need it. And here is a big important part, the vacuum pump. I bought that online, and that is what makes this gripper work. Now I'm just attaching some wires to it, and then we're going to attach those wires to the motor driver board, the DC motor driver board. And then I can tell the Arduino to tell that board how to drive the motor. And here is that gripper. I'm just attaching it to the end of the arm. You can't really see the whole robot yet, but that'll be coming up really quick here. Good old electrical tape. Now we're getting to some of the code, and basically I'm just telling the servos what pins they're on and giving them all names, and then that right there is just that's so that I can use the Bluetooth module that I put on eventually, so that I can tell the robot what to do from my phone. It just checks to see I send like a letter over Bluetooth serial, and the code listens for it and then does stuff based on that, usually just driving a motor. And that's pretty much the gist of that. I will come back to you guys in a second. So here's the finished product, if you could call it that, more of a finished prototype. But as you can see, it does work. However, I only showed you the good footage. It worked once out of like 20-something attempts. There's lots of things where something went wrong. So I don't want to make you guys think that I'm some technological genius. This barely works. It definitely is in need of a redesign, so that is what the second video in this series is going to be about. I've already been working on a smaller, kind of better designed prototype. I just wanted to thank you guys all so much for watching. This is my first voiceover and my third video, and just thanks to everyone who's watched so far. Thanks for joining me on my robot escapades, and adios.